Hello, this is Nate Tucker, Senior Functional Consultant with goVirtualOffice, and welcome to today's Fast 5. In this edition, we'll be covering navigation shortcut groups in NetSuite in under 5 minutes. Navigation shortcut groups are a great way to organize your links and make navigation in NetSuite easier for your team. So to begin with, over here is our navigation shortcut group. It should be on your home page, so if you click your home page, it should be right on your home page. Right through here, we have these different options available to us. When you hover over accounts payable, this is where you can select different groups. So if we want to see what links would be for a purchasing manager, you can see it. If we go through here, we can look at production management. Notice that these links can be different. They can also share some of the same ones. An example I created for today is my Nate Fast 5 example. So right here is how mine looks. We've got commission details, transaction data, activities, APAR, and then miscellaneous. Once we have these links in here, what you can do is you can now hover over what we call the super colon, go down here into edit, and this is where you have some options. So we'll go ahead and hit edit here. This is where you have the ability to rename it. So if you didn't want it to say navigation shortcut group, you could name this Nate example for starters. And down here we have the ability to how many category columns do you want it to display. Currently we have 1. So if we wanted 2, we can go ahead and modify this to 2. And then let's go ahead and say that we want it to default to my Nate Fast 5. So let's go ahead and hit save and see what that does. So down here we have 2 columns, so everything's stacked side by side. One of the nice things is if we ever move this into a different portion of the page, notice how it's laid out here, and this is also where we could go in here and we could now say, you know what? We want 3 columns. So if we now save this, now we'll have it stacked double, and now we have our links through here. So with that being said, what we'll do now is let's go ahead and look at adding a link in here. I think for what we'll be doing is we're going to add a link to the open purchase orders down here on our AP link. So to navigate to modifying these navigation shortcut groups, hover over setup, go down to navigation portlets, and right over here is our manage shortcut group. So I'm going to open that into a new tab, and right up here is where it's created. So through here, this is where you have all those categories. Those categories were accounts payable, receivable. The one we were looking at was my Nate Fast 5 example. So right down here is that one. One of the things to understand is that you do have the ability to have up to 25 categories. However, keep in mind that you are limited to 5 links per. So that would be a total of 125 that you have the ability to store under one category. So what we'll do is on AP, we'll go ahead and hit edit here. And now this is where you set those up. So to begin with, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need a link to that report. So luckily in my shortcuts, I have my open purchase orders. I'm going to right click on this, open it into a new tab, and that way I have the URL that I'll need in a moment. So what I'm going to do now is go back to my shortcut group, and right in here, this is where we're going to name our shortcut. So I'll name this open purchase orders. And this is where you have the ability to set your sort order. I generally use 10 for my intervals, so that way it's easy to go back in, and if I need to reorganize it, if you want to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's absolutely fine as well. Now is the part where we need to grab the link. To grab the link, we're going to go back to our page here where our report was, and what we're going to need to do is we're going to ignore everything ahead of this backslash for app, and we're going to grab all of this. This is what the shortcut needs. So we'll go back to our navigation shortcut group. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. I'm going to go back to my navigation shortcut group, and I'm going to go in here and paste that value in. Additionally, over here you have the ability to add a tooltip. All that the tooltip will do is, it could be some text that as you hover over the link, it would display that for you. So in our example, we're going to go ahead and hit add, hit save, and now we have added open purchase orders to our home page. So let's go back to home, keep an eye on AP here. I'm now going to go ahead and refresh, and just like that, we now have our open purchase orders. And that's navigation shortcut portlet groups in NetSuite in under 5 minutes. Reach out through our website, goVirtualOffice.com. Otherwise, feel free to call us at 888-773-2123. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.